Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And we're getting ready for the Christmas season. As you can see, she has her naughty cap on. Says nice on the other side, but she's never nice. Well, it's true. Anyways, we're starting off with a very controversial film. Well, in its day, it was controversial. Silent Night, Deadly Night, which most people thought when it came out it was the first killer Santa movie, but actually there was a film a few years earlier called Christmas Evil, which had a somewhat similar plot, but it got very spotty release, and so it didn't become well known until years later, thanks to the videotape boom of the late 80s, early 90s. Now, Silent Night, Deadly Night's original script was a standard Halloween-style slasher with a final girl and just a killer psycho in a Santa suit with no backstory. And passed through several hands, got rewritten into what it is today, and then everybody associated with the original creation of the script and everything got phased out by the producers, especially when it came to the sequels. Standard Hollywood things. Controversy came about when ads were playing during Family Hour on TV, and there was no delineation that this was a person dressed as Santa, making it seem like Santa had just gone crazy, like the Weird Al song, and was stalking around with an axe, which caused a huge uproar. There were picketing, and groups were coming out against it. Mickey Rooney came out against it. Ironically, he would star in the fifth sequel, or, well, Silent Deadly Night 5. Man, had to work. Anyways, even Siskel and Ebert they felt that everybody associated with this should be run out of town. It was so horrible. Of course, one, if they had just not cared, it would have played for a few weeks in the Christmas season for the horror fans, and then probably disappeared, maybe coming back later, like a lot of films did. But because of all the uproar, it hit into people's consciousness and has caused more people to seek it out than if it had just been left on its own, and led to 4 sequels, 2 of which were direct continuations of the original story, and the last 2 just used the name. One had to do with witches and the other had to do with robots. This is a cast full of somewhat well-known character actors, except for one. Now, at the time, she wasn't well known, but over the 80s and 90s, she has become quite the final girl in a group of final girls from that time period. It was Linnea Quigley, who would go on from this film to do such popular films as Night of the Demons, Return of the Living Dead, Sorority Girls in the Slime Bowl-orama, Nightmare Sisters, and on and on and on. The film opens with our young antagonist, Billy, who is family is visiting his grandfather at the old folks' home, and he's kind of non-responsive, although they leave Billy alone with him, and this happens.
You've been good all year? You see Santa Claus tonight? You better run, boy.
Well, that's not going to mess him up at all, I'm sure.
Perhaps.
Anyways, they head home while in another part of town, a thief, played by Charles Deercop of Policewoman fame, is getting in a not-so-festive mood.
Put the money in the bag.
So it's not all phony sentiment, is it?
A lot of it's genuine greed.
All right, you.
I've had worse.
He's a mean one. What do you think the odds are that they're going to run into each other?
You think we should wake up Billy?
Santa Claus!
Looks like you get to see him tonight after all, Billy.
This is not going to end well.
Just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad.
I ran into a little bit of lousy luck.
Jump! Go!
Yeah, his father was dead instantly. Mom, well, he runs away. Billy runs away and hides in the brush and sees his mom get assaulted by this guy, and then he kills her too.
Hey, you little bastard!
Well, luckily, he and his infant brother, Ricky, they survive.
Holy horseshoe!
And they're sent to a Catholic orphanage. And we're going to skip over this section because while, let's see, what is her name? Sister Margaret, she, being of the new breed, knows there are some psychological problems with Billy from what he's gone through, but the Mother Superior is very much in the tough love kind of category. And this is exemplified in a couple of scenes where he inadvertently comes upon two teenagers giving in to their mutual attraction.
Sex.
And are discovered by the Mother Superior, who, after punishing the teenagers, beats Billy so that he understands what they did was sinful, because they weren't married. And then when he has nightmares and runs from his room in terror, she ties him to the bed to teach him it's just a nightmare, go to sleep. So little anti-Catholic in this regard. And we jump to 1984, where Sister Margaret is trying to get Billy a job.
I'm sorry, sister, but I only have one job open, and it's for a man, not for a boy. It's in the stockroom, hauling crates. It's just not a job for a kid. Necessary.
Billy? Billy, meet Mr. Sims.
It's nice to have a little levity now that we've gone through this very depressing section of the film. And Billy's pretty good at working in a toy store. And he even gets to meet one of his pretty associates. That's Pamela. She's a cutie. I think she might even like him. Fortunately, he also has his direct superior, Andy.
And I'm gonna level with you. When you came here a couple of months ago, you were an all right kid. But all of a sudden, you got this fucking attitude problem. Snapping at me all the time. Just staring off into space like some moon goon.
And we find that maybe a toy story wasn't the best place to place Billy, considering it's now December.
Perhaps.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
We didn't get a very interesting bit of psychology next, as Billy has a dream about being in bed with Pamela. Pretty average for a guy who's like 19. And then Santa comes in and kills them. So, yeah, he's still got issues. And then his boss, Mr. Sims, has a problem that he feels only Billy can solve.
I just got a call from one of the employees. Seems he went ice skating last night and broke his ankle. He'll be out for the remainder of the season.
Take a closer look at yourself in the mirror, Billy. And just remember, be jolly. Lots of ho, ho, ho.
I'm sure you'll handle this fine.
That's right. Stop it. Or I'll have to punish you.
He sure knows how to handle kids.
Well, that's one way to handle an unruly child. Sister Margaret does call to check to see how he's doing.
He's playing Santa Claus for a bunch of snot-nosed kids.
Just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried about that too. Well, after the store closes, it's Christmas Eve, and time for the Christmas party at the store, where Sims gets the bright idea of giving Billy his first drink.
You better sober up. You got a long night ahead of you.
Huh?
You remember what Santa Claus does on Christmas Eve, don't you?
Yeah.
He really does know just the wrong thing to say, doesn't he?
And stupid.
Well, Billy sees Andy take Pamela into the back room. Apparently he wants to give her a special Christmas present. Well, of course, this just brings back his childhood trauma. You know, his mother's assault and everything. And so Billy decides it's time to punish Andy. Might have gone a little overboard there, because he kills him. But I'm sure Pamela will be more than grateful for his intervention.
You're crazy.
Oh, stop it, Pamela.
You bastard. You're crazy. Get the hell away from me.
Not the smartest idea, given the circumstances.
And stupid.
Punishment is necessary, Pamela. It is good.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh no. Mr. Sims and Miss Randall are drunk. You know what that means.
You're doomed. You're all doomed.
Yeah.
How do you shoot like that? I mean, you don't just shoot a bow like... Oh, and now he has an axe. Isn't that good?
Just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad.
What could happen next?
Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Billy? Are you in here?
Okay, I will grant you. That's a pretty slick shot there. Well, while she's contacting the police, let's meet our next victims, shall we?
Mama, won't you give me them antibiotics? I got
That is Denise and her boyfriend Tommy. Denise is babysitting and had her boyfriend over. You know, as you do in an 80s horror film. Now, can't show you much more of her scenes because she spends the rest of the film topless. But she does have a very important moment that brings about her downfall. She goes to get the cat in, topless. So, of course, Billy just happens to be going by and goes in after her. And, well, I think we can guess how this is going to end for her and her boyfriend.
Punished! Punished! Punished!
Tis but a scratch.
Punished!
All right, we call it a draw.
And now we come to the most tension-filled part of this whole film.
Have you been good? Or have you been naughty?
Good.
You haven't done anything naughty?
No, Santa Claus.
Don't worry. He gives her a present. His box cutter, but still. And he leaves. Interesting fact here, the main producer wanted Billy to kill the little girl too. The director and basically everybody on set said no. And it works better that way. There's good tension, and Billy has somewhat of a sympathetic character at this point. If he killed a child, a little bit of sympathy we have for what he's gone through disappears. Well, he heads on his way while police, who are now out looking for a killer Santa, spy him sneaking into another house.
Hold it! Stop right there.
Daddy.
Daddy?
Whew. Need a bit of lightheartedness there anyways. Well, next we move on to a bunch of older kids who bully some younger kids and swipe their snowboards. Once again, Billy can't let that go unpunished.
I've had worse.
When he says punish, he means it. You know, we're about 2/3 of the way through this movie. We should probably meet our hero, Police Captain Richards.
I'm eluding my men all night. Kid may be nuts, but he's not stupid.
Yeah, don't you hate them smart killers? Where do you go from here?
There ought to be a way we can predict his next move.
Oh, my lord.
Of course. Who's the naughtiest person he knows? Mother Superior. Obviously, he's going back there. But the police might just be ahead of him.
Get out of it! Get away from it!
Oh, geez. Well, the kids might be a little traumatized, including Billy's little brother Ricky, who was among the group. But everybody's saved.
Perhaps.
Captain, we got a problem here.
The description of the dead man, it's all wrong.
What do you mean all wrong?
Martin says the guy's about 50, under 6 feet tall.
My God. It's Father O'Brien.
I can't find him totally at fault. Killer Santa coming. But still. Mother Superior is less than pleased with this guy. But they all get locked in, and he's gonna look around to see if he can catch Billy before he gets to them.
Punish!
Tis but a scratch.
Okay, not good, but he's still locked out.
No! Don't!
And stupid.
Well, to quote a line from a friend's favorite film, The Sandlot, "You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me."
All right, we'll call it a draw.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he is the hero. And, well, Sister Margaret gives some comforting to her dying orphan. He gives a message for the kids.
You're safe now. Santa Claus is gone.
It's almost heartbreaking. He really was trying to protect them. Oh, but he does have that little brother Ricky.
Naughty.
Uh-oh. We've got a sequel in the works. Actually, they did make a sequel to it, and interestingly enough, because of this film's being pulled from theaters after the first week, when they came to make the sequel, they had a real limited budget, so they used almost a third, if not more, footage of this film in the sequel. And so it's sort of like a pseudo sequel and standalone film, because almost the first half of the film is just Ricky in an asylum explaining, basically the plot of the first film, and then most of the second half is him explaining how he ended up in the asylum, with the ending being him escaping and going after the Mother Superior. And it did give us that one great catchphrase.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
Yeah, really good film. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's a much better film than a lot of the critics would have had you believe when it first came out. As Christmas horror films go, it's up there with Christmas Evil, Gremlins, Silent Night, Bloody Night. Trying to think of some more, but you get it. Blast of Silence, which that's a completely different style of film. Basically, it's a hitman who's going to do a job over the Christmas holidays, and things don't go well for him. But during this film, it's well acted, well paced, much like Christmas Evil. The first hour is pretty much a character study of this person, although Christmas Evil's a bit better in that department because here you've got a fairly new actor playing Billy, and he doesn't even enter until after the first half hour to 40 minutes. And Christmas Evil had a powerhouse of an actor in Robert McGart, who best known for the being in the first cable sitcom that was on Showtime called Brothers. But skewing that out of the way, yeah, very good. Little anti-Catholic there in the beginning. I mean, they balance it out. You've got the sympathetic Sister Margaret, but the Mother Superior is just more of a sinister version of like what you normally get in if you've ever seen the Blues Brothers and the Mother Superior in that film. It was played for comedic effect, and she's like beating everyone with a yardstick. This is a more sinister version of it, and it's played by a well-known character actress who had a long career in film. Let's see what her name. Lillian Chauvin, who really good character actress, appeared in tons of shows and films, generally playing similar type characters, kind of sinister older women. And yeah, it really picks up in the last third, where we get into the killing spree, and that is pretty fast paced, as his victims are more just by chance after the toy store, as he's just going along, because he's heading straight line for the real object of his anger, Mother Superior. And he is a sad character, which happens. He is very much sympathetic, although he gets more terrifying as he goes along. But up to the point where he snaps, you feel for him, and even after a little bit. But as the spree continues, it's kind of hard to feel sympathetic for him. Although the thing with the little girl was nice, in that she gets to live. Although he did leave her to find the bodies, so she's now going to be traumatized too. But yeah, it earns its infamy, and of course these days it's kind of tame, especially if you look at the remake. The original creators got the rights back so they could make the updated version from, I think, 2002. If I'm wrong, I'll put it down there. But yeah, fun film. Oh, in a manner of speaking, for a horror film, it's pretty fun after you get past the orphanage section. But it's kind of necessary to kind of understand what the kid went through. So, 2 thumbs up. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And stay after the credits for my favorite scene.